And we're live. We're live, Mr.
Um,
Fresh Trim. Fresh
trim,
Trim. I miss having trims, you know. But I miss having hair to style and trim it
well, in
this
this
way,
weather, in the
trim
weather
that
that
way.
you got the weather you got, man. You want it to be
Oh my
trimmed.
gosh, look, got little
You
bits.
don't want
It's
hair
there.
bits
It's
and
just not high, but it's there. The
now
follicles
devout.
that still exists.
We're getting a lot of people are asking. People have been asking me to ask you, what's your
Mm.
maintenance for, like, your head? What maintenance? What's your routine?
Well, I wash my face and just keep on going.
Folks, there
Yeah,
you have it.
that's
Wash his
it.
face and keeps
It
on
just
going.
keeps on going.
Duval, thank you, by the way,
You're welcome. Thank you for what?
joining me on this
Oh,
special occasion, on this beautiful, amazing
where else
episode.
would I be? Where else?
Exactly. So,
Mm.
Duval, this is episode 390.
390. But we're going to talk about Godzilla -0.
That's a brand new
But
one.
we are. See, everything links. A bit of it.
Exactly. We
Yeah,
link it
everything
in there,
links up.
folks.
Links up.
So, Deval, on this episode,
Mm.
we've got a review of
Yeah.
Evil Dead Burn, and we're bringing you another newly released movie called Citizen
Yeah.
Vigilante. And we've got a couple of things that we want to say about Citizen Vigilante because our listeners, our flicksters out there, they've been
Mm.
saying stuff about that movie as well. So keep it locked with us
Not
over the
holding
next.
back on that one, I tell you
Oh
that.
no, they're not. They are definitely not. So stick around for the next kind of 45 minutes. We're going to get into that. But before we do that, let's do the shout outs.
Yeah, a couple of shout outs this week. First shout out goes to Andre Lennart, who we will see next week because he was in The Odyssey,
Wicked.
Christopher Nolan's epic movie about Greek mythology and Homer's Iliad. So next week we'll be talking with Andre Lennart about that film. So big shout out to him. Next shout out goes to our very own Zakharov. Zakharov, we need to get you on the show soon. It's been a while. Hope you're good. I know you're always listening to the show, giving us hidden gems and stuff like that, but we want to see you real soon. And our last shout out goes to new follower Paige on TikTok. Big shout out to you. Big movie lover, loves a film or two. Also a bit of a gamer as well. So big shout out to you. Sometimes the two can merge really well. Games and movies, like we say,
Absolutely.
they can mix. So we'll see you on the show sometime soon, maybe. So yeah, big shout outs to you guys.
Wicked. All right. Okay. Just remind everyone, Devaldo, how do they like and subscribe?
Yeah, it's really easy. Press that little thumbs up button and you subscribe. You can get us on TikTok, or Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, I should say, and Facebook as well. Did I say that as well? And YouTube. You can get us everywhere. So please follow, like, subscribe. If you want to get on the show, just literally reach out to us, and we'll love to have you on the show. Also, if you can write us a review on like Spotify or iTunes, that would be really great as well. So yeah, that's what you can do.
Wicked. All right. Let's move on. Let's do movie news now. Let's speak about DC now. Deval, DC, they're not having a good time at the moment, and we've kind of mentioned this before, right? So we've spoken about Supergirl. You and I, before we just got on air, we were going through kind of box office and things like that, and talking, chewing the fat. And Supergirl, Devaldo, just like Supergirl, the budget for Supergirl close to 200 million, but it's only taken what again?
108 million worldwide.
It's not looking good for James Gunn. It's not looking good for DC. So whatever comes out over the next kind of year or so, people are going to be watching this, right? People are going to be thinking, okay, what's Clayface going to be like? What's Lantern's going to be like? And this thing that you want to speak about right now is something's in the works. What else are they going to come up with?
Yeah, so DC and James Gunn and his team are basically going to bring out a Mr. Terrific series. So we saw Mr. Terrific in Superman, and it's a good character, a bit of an interesting character, a bit of a techie kind of character. He was a guy that was, I guess, good at flying the ship and stuff like that. He was able to control those balls, and he has basically his powers are technology and manipulation and stuff like that. And he's a bit of a geek, but a cool geek. So they're basically going to bring out a series, which is going to be, I think, probably about 8 episodes, similar to what we saw with John Cena's series,
Oh, Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, exactly. So I think it's going to be in that kind of vein. You know how James Gunn's shows and films are very comedic and
Mm,
light-hearted, but also can be quite punchy and sometimes quite brutal. So Eddie Gatheri, I
yeah.
think, is an American Kenyan actor. He's
He
going to be reprising the role of
and
Mister
he's
Terrific.
been in the Marvel movies as well, Devaldo.
Yes, he was. He was in X-Men First Class. He played
Mm,
as Ed. Who's the Darwin? That's it. He played
mm,
Darwin. He was his powers were that he can evolve to any, basically any attack or
yep.
any environment. So if you try and basically put him in the cold, he will evolve.
Yeah,
Put him underwater, he'll grow gills. Like he could basically shouldn't have even died the way he
I
died,
know.
but he did. So it is what
Exactly.
it
And
is.
he's
But
good. This actor's good. I'll tell you the reason why. We've seen him in something. It's this show called Startup.
yeah, yeah.
He's got that's a really good role in there as well. So if you haven't
Mm.
seen his stuff, go check it out. He's really good. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. And just on that, Devado, I mean, what do you make of the whole kind of, just briefly, what do you make of the whole kind of Supergirl thing at the moment? What I mean,
Yeah, it's a
where do you
shame.
reckon this is going to
Supergirl
go?
Supergirl's a good character, but for some reason the fans haven't really taken to this iteration. The box
Mm,
office speaks massively, 175 million for that, and it's barely scraping 100 million, and it's gonna bomb basically, and it's
mm,
meant to be the second of James Gunn's DC sort of universe, and already it's crashing already,
mm.
so it doesn't look good. Yeah, it doesn't look
it,
good.
it does not look good. And like I kind of mentioned this to you before, the thing that annoyed me about the whole thing was James Gunn saying, if we don't get the scripts, then nothing gets greenlit. And here
Mm,
we are. Everyone's complaint was the flipping script. The script
mm,
was just so
mm.
poor,
Yeah.
which is such a shame. All right, okay, let's move on. Let's speak about this now. This name, Brigands of Rattle Creek. What a name! I mean, you say that out loud, you brigand of Rattle Creek. I mean, flipping out, man. It can only be a western, can it? Um, this is yeah. So I know the movie that you're talking about, Divaldo, Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, wicked movie.
That is
Wicked movie.
Kurt Russell. It's a western, but it's a different type of a western, man. That movie. I mean, so how does that link in with the Brigands of Rattle Creek? Just tell us what this connection is.
Yeah, the person that made Bone Tomahawk, I think his name was S. Craig Zala or Zala,
Mm,
and he's basically behind Brigands of Rattle Creek. So yeah, I mean, I can say it properly, Brigands of Rattle Creek. This is going to be a bit of a revenge
mm,
movie. Bandits who use the cover of a sort of torrential thunderstorm to terrorize occupants of a small town. So this is going to be, you can imagine it's going to be a bit of a western. It's going to
mm,
be a bit of a revenge. There's going to be some kind of horror element in there as well. Pedro
mm.
Pascal is signed up to this. Matthew McConaughey is signed up to this.
Yep,
Austin Butler is signed up to this.
great
Directing
cast.
it is going to be Park Chang Wook,
Oh,
who
oh boy.
gave us Old Boy, gave us The Handmaiden, gave us
Mm,
Thirst. So all those films are really dramatic, but also have a horror kind of dark element to it. So
yeah.
put that along with the writer who I mentioned is S. Craig Zala, who gave us Bone Tomahawk. This is a concoction of something that's going to be. It's going to be. I can't even put it into words, but it's
Yeah.
one of those films that
Something gritty, something
it,
dark.
yeah, the title doesn't probably give it enough weight
Mm.
and probably throws you off and thinks, oh, what is this going to be about? But once you watch it, I'm sure it's going to be a good film.
Exciting stuff, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bone Tomahawk and everything. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that one and we'll bring you more news on that as soon as it all comes out. But listen, I want to quickly mention this, wrap up movie news. Let's speak about the Emmy nominations. Now, the 78th Primetime Emmy Awards, 78, they were
Mm.
announced on July the 8th, so a few days ago. It's actually going to be airing on Monday, the September the 14th. So we still got a while away
Oh,
yet.
okay.
And
Mm.
some of these shows, Divaldo, I mean, look, I haven't seen this, but a lot of people talk about this. We've got shows like The Pit, we've got Hacks, we've got Widow's Bay, which I have spoken about. That's picked up 19 nominations.
Widow's Bay,
Pluribus,
the one that you spoke
not
about, yeah?
the one that I've
Wow.
spoken about. Pluribus, which we've spoken about before, great show, 18 nominations. Beef on Netflix. So all the kind of streaming services, they're all kind of like represented. And then obviously, shows like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which we've been fans of, Slow Horses, Your Friends and Neighbors, which I've seen as well, which is really good. Um, you know, yeah, and Gary Oldman, Sterling K. Brown, so a lot of these kind of big time actors. I mean, what is there anything on there which you think is deserves kind of like you'd say that this should win, or I
Did you
reckon
say
this is going to
Welcome to
win?
Derry? It's Welcome to Derry. Is that on there? Because I
Um,
think that should be on there. Those kids
that
done a good
should be
job.
on there.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't see it
Mm.
on there, but maybe it is, and
Well,
it's just this list that I've got is that it's not on
yeah.
there.
Also, sometimes it depends on when things are released, and then
Mm,
they're in contention for certain periods of awards. But yeah, the kids, the back room, the cast and crew, they all done a great job on that one. I think that one should get
yeah.
a nod if it's not on that list. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so we'll be watching this. We'll obviously keep an eye on that. It's coming out in September on NBC and streaming wherever, obviously wherever they're showing it around the world. But yeah, be interesting to see which kind of wins. I think Devaldo with The Pit. Everyone keeps talking about The Pit. I haven't seen
Mm.
it. It's got
Either
25
have I.
nominations.
Sometimes when the show has a established cast and established producers, directors and stuff,
Mm,
they get nominations. Just it's the standard for them, isn't it?
because
This
it's
looks like a
like,
bit of an ER kind of situation. Could be the
yeah,
same people in ER or Chicago. I hope one of them. I think the guy wasn't
he
he
was
in
in
ER?
ER. Noah
Yeah.
Wiley.
So you can imagine it's just like business as usual for them to get nominations.
Exactly. All right, listen, we're going to move on. Let's do new on streaming. And yes, this just popped up recently. I actually watched this with the kids.
Oh.
This is Project Hail Mary. And you know what? I actually thought, watching it a second time around, Deval, I thought, you know what? It was okay. It was decent.
Mm.
It was
Yeah,
decent.
it's box office wise, it's done like 600 and something million.
Massive.
Good box office. Ratings on IMDb 8.2.
Hmm.
Great cast and crew. So obviously Ryan Gosling leads the way. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who started us off with the uh, into the Spider Verse. They
Yes.
started that whole thing off. Good duo there, and written by or co-written by Drew Goddard and Andy Weir. I think the book was from Andy Weir, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's the
Which
one who wrote The Martian.
exactly, yeah. So really good ingredients there. So I'm not surprised it done well. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is on streaming on Amazon, isn't it? I think
It
is it on
is. It's on
Amazon?
Amazon. So,
Yeah. So
um, so I guess, I mean, the way the movie ends, I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, turn off right now. But the way that movie ends is he's on another planet and he's decided not to, he can go back home to Earth, but he's decided not to. So, I mean, could they do a movie out of this as well? Would he want to do another movie? His
I think
journey
they should
back
leave
home?
it. I think they should leave it because
I,
another movie. I don't think it will touch the sides the same way.
but what
And
about that?
yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't think so.
Because it's such a
You're
big
right.
hit, this movie.
I'm sure there's another book somewhere that has just as an inspiring story as this one. But you're
Hmm.
right. Money talks. But I hope they don't do another one.
I know, I know. The way they left it was great. He's
Yeah.
there. He's got his
Yeah.
life, and he felt
Yeah.
kind of happy there. Leave it at that. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Project Hail Mary is on Amazon Prime, and if you like it, then let us know. Tag us at the Flixers and tell us what you think. All right, let's get into trailers. Deval's already mentioned this. Godzilla minus zero.
Mm.
So this is, I mean, what surprises me the most about it is this whole Godzilla franchise. It's just gone off in different directions. We've had the kind of Kong stuff with it as well, and then we've gone, the Second World War, making it historical, adding grittiness to it. This is just, I'm so surprised, and in a good way. This is going off in different directions. But tell us about this trailer.
Yeah, this one it basically looks at. I think it's about 2 years after the events of Godzilla minus one.
Mm,
This is Godzilla minus zero. It's basically saying that, we're at one stage and now we're even further back because we've had so
mm,
much damage. And this is the sort of a few years after World War II, obviously Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all that has happened in the backdrop of this film. And this looks at obviously Godzilla's, I guess, rise
mm,
and his war with the world in the context of sort of Japan and that region. But this looks like another hit.
mm.
Godzilla minus one was made on a really, really low budget. I can't remember how much it was, but it was a really low budget, maybe 7 million or something like that. I can't remember.
Mm.
And it done hundreds of millions all over the world. So
Wicked.
this one hopefully does the same, if
Mm.
not, if not more. But we'll have to wait and see. But this, I just love the image of Godzilla coming out of the water
Yeah.
in this compared to what we see with the other sort of American
And
Godzilla.
in that kind of derelict, like the
Mm,
war torn city, like people kind of
yeah.
starving, and then especially when you think about like how Japan, like the country itself, like in real life, like how it's progressed and how it becomes this mega powerhouse, but then its origins, Godzilla's, from the muck is coming out,
Mm,
and it's kind of it's almost like as if it's like a metaphor for Japan at that time, which it did
yeah.
after the Second
Yeah.
World War. There was this thing. It did go. They were
Yeah.
beaten,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then out
Has to
comes
turn
this.
it around. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's interesting. Go check it out. Godzilla minus zero. Now we've mentioned Mobland on this podcast before. This is a Paramount Plus show, and straight out the gate, it got great reviews, great cast. Tom Hardy, Piers Brosnan, um, what was her name? Dame Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
And then the question always was, De Bavado, was there going to be a second season? And you've mentioned this before on our show about there was maybe some beef, maybe some controversy, but here we are, season two.
Yeah. Season two looks really, really good. Looks crazy.
Mm,
In season one, it was more sort of Tom Hardy and his people doing that sort of heavy lifting and
mm,
getting their hands dirty and stuff like that. Pierce Brosnan and Helen Mirren kind of got involved, but they didn't do as much regarding the sort of shooting and the gang stuff. But season two's trailer looks like Pierce Brosnan's getting his hands really dirty.
dirty.
He's letting off shots. He's doing this, doing that. I think it might have something to do with the fact that after season one, a lot of heat came onto their family.
Mm,
They've got more enemies. There's shit going on. They're maybe going to be on the run, perhaps. So
mm,
maybe that's why you're seeing Pierce Brosnan getting a bit more, up close and personal with some of these
yeah.
enemies. And Tom Hardy's obviously doing his thing. But we know from the controversy that we heard a few weeks ago that Tom Hardy has had a bit of a run in with some of the creators of the show, whether it's something personal or professional, can't really
Mm,
say. But are we going to see him for season three? Don't know, but
mm.
we'll have to wait and see, I guess, and see what happens with
Interesting.
this. Mm.
Interesting that one. Yeah, go check out the trailer, folks. Now, again, and just to kind of tie this into the next trailer, Guy Ritchie obviously is behind, these shows, and he's behind
Yeah,
this one as well, The Gentleman.
yeah,
You know what, I had a really really good time watching The Gentleman season one. It was fun. It was kind of Theo James, this
yeah.
British actor. I thought he did really well. He carried the whole kind of season, this kind of fish out of water. He's back into the family, and he's trying to sort out all these different problems, and then one thing just leads to another, and he's just digging himself a deeper hole. And I'm assuming, I haven't seen the trailer by the way, but I'm assuming, Devaldo, this is going to be more of him in the thick of it and getting stuck in the family business.
Very much so, very much. I mean, The Gentleman maybe started off as a movie in 2019.
Mm,
Matthew McConaughey was in that one. And then the series, The Gentleman, 2024. And now we've got season two, Gentleman. And this one looks, again, I don't know what, Theo James for me, we saw him in Fuse or Fuzz
yes, just
recently
recently.
in that
Yeah.
film. Really, really good. And this one,
Mm,
it looks like it's taken sort of the same kind of, energy and vibe from season one. Very charismatic Theo James. I think he could be a James Bond. I
he
think
could.
so, but we just don't know. This one we see a couple of cameos. We see Maya Jama, who's a prominent UK TV presenter. She does Love
Mm-hmm.
Island. We see
Mm-hmm.
Chris Eubank Jr. is in this trailer as well as a boxer. Lots
Yeah,
of people know him
from the
with his
UK.
boxing. So I think there's a few cameos that's going to be in this one. But yeah, this looks very interesting. Again, I'm looking forward to watching this. This is coming out in, I want to say, I think it said September. Yeah,
Okay.
September season two.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, it looks good.
with this, I know with the season one, Guy Ritchie he wrote and he directed like a lot of the some of those episodes. Do you
Yeah.
think is he taking a step back on this one, or is he kind of, because he's got Mobland and he's got this, so he's getting really stuck in with the gangster kind of with this genre is his.
Yeah, I think we're both. He actually directed some of the episodes, not all, because I
Mm,
think it's just too much. But he's definitely
mm,
got his fingers in pies, and I think it's actually good when you get to that stage of their careers. You've done quite a lot. You laid the groundwork,
yeah.
similar to what we were saying with James Gunn. I think you should have a more creative director's approach rather than doing everything because you literally
Mm,
can't. And you get other young creators that come in and understand and respect your work and want to sort of continue the lineage, but also add their bit of flavor on it as well. So
yeah.
I think with this, you get the vibe that it is, yes, it is a Guy Ritchie universe, but then you get to see a little bit of individuality with different
Yeah.
creators popping in as well. So
And
yeah.
he's not only that, he's also he's behind Young Sherlock, which is on Amazon. I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
like kind of like about 2-3 episodes of that one. I didn't really quite finish it all off.
Mm.
I gave it 2-3 episodes and everything. But there's also talk of him teaming back up with Robert Downey Jr. for Sherlock Part 3,
Is
the movie.
it?
So,
Okay. And Jude Law, maybe.
and Jude Law, anything's possible with these guys. All right, okay, so go check that out. That's the Gentleman season 2 trailer. Now this next one, tell us about this one, because this is called The Fox.
This one here is, this looks like an A24 film or Neon.
Mm,
This looks really interesting. I came across this trailer really randomly. I thought, what's the Fox? What's that about? This has a really good cast as well. So we've got Jai Courtney,
yep.
who we've seen in many things. Spartacus, obviously, that's where I first saw him. Olivia Colman. You got Sam Neill.
Mm,
You got, yeah. This seems to be a bit of an Australian theme to, there's quite a few Australian actors as well.
yeah.
Emily Browning's in this. You got Claudia Dumit, who we saw in The Boys.
Mm,
Yeah, so we've seen her. So this is a weird film. Basically, a fox, an actual fox, who can talk.
oh
Who can
wow.
talk. So, so I can't explain it. A fox hunter encounters a shape-shifting fox
Oh,
who offers him an opportunity to transform his partner into the perfect woman, and
mm,
it's 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 weird.
mm,
There's a talking fox. There's Jai Courtney, who's some sort of hunter. He wants to create the best relationship and stuff like that. This fox seems to have. This fox seems to understand humans.
mm,
It understands other animals and how humans are, human nature, and it could. It's almost like coaching this guy into
right.
how to live his life. But it gives me a little bit of a gives me a bit of a feel into like, sorry, a sense as to sort of Wes Anderson type films,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
a bit a bit like that, but a bit like also like an A24 film. It just this this is a weird film, but in the best way.
Yeah,
It's hard to explain. You've got to watch the trailer,
yeah.
and the trailer kind of gives you a bit, but even that, you'll walk away thinking, "What am I going to watch?" But I'm looking forward. This is the sort of films I want to watch because they've got also like a social bit of a
Message.
impact, a social message as well, which I think is sort of within the sort of wackiness of the film.
Brilliant. I love it.
So yeah, this looks like a good. This is going to be an undercover sort of classic hidden gem hit, I reckon.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I
the
mean,
Fox,
I love
simple
those
as
types
that.
of movies. Those kind of under the radar. You don't know what you get
Yeah,
in, and then there's kind
yeah.
of like an impact in there as well. So yeah, looking forward to that one. All right, folks, those are your trailers. Please do go check them out, and remember, if you do check them out, let us know what you think. Are you looking forward to them as well? Just reach out to us and share your views. All right, let's do anniversary corner. So one of the things that we love doing here on the Flicks is Deval and I, we love kind of plucking out a movie from the past, you know, and we love tying that movie into one of the main movies or several of the movies that we're going to be speaking about. So this one from 10 years ago, 2016, it's one of those movies where you and I, Deval, we've spoken about these types of movies, and we get a kind of, when the hairs at the back of your neck that kind of stand up when we talk about these possession types of movies. They're nasty. This one is called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And when you have a name in the title, The Taking of Deborah Jane or whatever it
Logan.
was, Logan,
Deborah
and
Logan.
The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and the Emily Rose and things like that. Oh, something's nasty, but yeah.
We don't get no Babatunde, in it. The taking of Babatunde. Babatunde be like, where are you taking me? Where are you taking
yourself?
The Autopsy of Raja Singh. Raja Singh would be like, who you autopsying?
I love it.
We don't get them. It's always these other names, isn't it? Jane Doe or like Deborah Logan.
What
would happen in those films? What would happen in a different film? A different kind of film, man. Bring us them.
What? Someone would be getting slaps. That's what would be happening. They'd be like, getting beaten up or something, rather than or shouted at. So this one, Devaldo, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Again, we've mentioned this on the show, and we've spoken about this movie on the show before. It's just kind of nasty when you see these possession type of movies develop. There's just something about them.
Yeah, this one's got Brian Cox is in this. He's the main person. We've got Emil Hirsch as well as in this. This is directed by Andre Orendal, who we've seen recently. He's given us Troll Hunter. He's given us the Last Voyage of Demeter.
Yep.
So he's we saw him in direct Passenger recently as well, just a few months ago. That horror film on the road.
Yeah.
So he's an accomplished director. This film has got some scares. It's got some real good tension building. It's got some really sort of classical horror signatures in this film that make you really understand as soon as you're watching it that something is going to happen. It's just a matter of when and what. And so it's not just about jump scares. It's about really developing the sort of the atmosphere and inviting the audience in to then come on that journey and be genuinely shocked. So The Autopsy of Jane Doe is literally about Brian Cox and his assistant doing an autopsy on Jane Doe, which means she has no name. That's the sort of classification of Jane Doe. And throughout the autopsy, spooky things happen that basically confirm to Brian Cox and his assistant that this is no ordinary body. There's something here attached to this body that an autopsy will not be able to understand. So it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a decent film to watch. This film got pretty much a 7 out of 10 IMDb. For horror films, a 7 out of 10 is actually quite high.
Decent.
Yeah, so 2016, 10 years on, it still holds up quite well. So it's worth a watch.
Yeah, go check it out and let us know what you think. Remember, that's really, really important. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. And that leads us into, the main movie. And we bring this up because Evil Dead Burn is the big kind of horror movie that's out in cinemas at the moment. And, we were lucky enough to go out and watch this movie because we were fans. I remember we spoke about Evil Dead Rise. We spoke about it on the show a couple of years ago. Really decent kind of start. They kind of, we read about this whole thing and we heard about this, that they were going to be bringing back the Evil Dead franchise, bringing on new directors, new storylines, but also keeping the heart of those original Sam Raimi movies. Where there's maybe a bit of comedy in there, where there's a lot of gore, where there's connection to kind of this evil, the Deadites, the Necromancer, all these, the Book of the Dead and everything, all kind of bringing together and updating it. So this movie, it does pretty much, it links up from, the previous movie actually, because do you remember at the end of, in the first movie, there's some kids, these teenagers, they're out on a lake somewhere, and then it ends messy, Devaldo. It ends messy. And then from that movie, we then kind of start off with this one, and it picks up pretty much straight away. There's something evil lurking out there in the lake. It attaches itself to someone. It's then connected to the characters that we see in this movie. And yeah, Divaldo. I mean, give a basic plot line. And I'll try and explain how I felt about this. But yeah, go for it. Give us a plot line.
Yeah, so with this movie, we're kind of introduced with a family, and this movie kind of lets you know that it's sort of your families are quite important. Your family can also be your inheritance, and also can also be your demise. And what happened in your family history in the past can also, I guess, affect you in the future. And in this instance, we see a family, father, mother, two sons. One son is really prominent, really successful, but also a bit of a dickhead. He's abusive to his girlfriend, who's the French girlfriend in this. She's the lead, and the younger son, who seems to be a bit of a less confident, less accomplished
Wet
son. And
blanket.
then yeah, and you got the grandma who lives with the family. I think she's suffering from dementia or something
Mm,
like that, and her memories are not there. So she sometimes is herself, and sometimes she's not. So we're introduced with the fact that the prominent son is, he's basically passed on. Something's happened. He's passed on, and that is the instigator into the whole situation happening, where the Evil Dead has attached itself to that family, because that family has had engagement with the Deadites and the Evil Dead, and they know, and the previous people in the family have been connected, so the Evil Dead then wants to connect itself through the death of that son to the family, and
mm,
that's what happens. And then bit by bit we see how the sort of the demons, the Deadites, they kind of lurk and latch themselves onto people. And what I've noticed with all possession films, a lot of them, not all, it seems to be a thing that when people are spiritually weak or emotionally,
trauma.
vulnerable, trauma, they are more susceptible to that
Mm,
evil spirit attaching themselves and being possessed. So, and I wonder if that's a bit of a thing on life as well. When you're
yeah,
down and so on, that you're more susceptible to these factors, these evil things, and even people in society,
good
substance
point.
misuse, all kinds of things, again being attached to you and bringing you down. So it's
Mm,
something I just noticed in the film, because they were going through a lot of grief and stuff,
yeah,
so quite
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, that's where we sort of see the family sort of, that's the sort of world that we are presented with this family. And the dynamic within the family is already it's quite it's quite treacherous.
Yeah.
The parents don't like the daughter because, one, she's French. They see her as a bit of a
Outsider.
outsider kind of thing. They not good enough for not good enough for their son. They wanted their,
Mm,
I guess they wanted their son to bring home an American girl, perhaps, because they mentioned a couple of times, oh, he loved French food so much he went and got a French girl, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And obviously the sons died, and they all looked up to him. He brought home a lot of money. I think this film, we kind of see a lot of, well, uh, some kind of what we see these days with, like, the sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, like the son's a bit of a alpha male, and then
Mm,
the other son's a bit of a
yeah.
beta male, and he's the sort of the older son brings home the money. He's quite blunt. He's quite, in some cases, a
Arrogant.
bit
He's
misogynistic
confident.
as well with the
Yeah.
missus. He's abusive, and then the other son is the total opposite. He's not forward. He's quite cowardly.
Yeah.
Doesn't have much inner strength, and actually, not even in a nice way. He actually, I think they
There's a
overdo it.
you know what? Seriously, there's a bit like okay. So
I
look,
just
so
want to punch him up,
I
and it
wanted
wasn't
to
even. I
slap
felt bad.
this
I was like,
guy.
this guy, man, come on, you,
There's a bit in the movie where his
oh,
wife is getting like
she needs
seriously.
help.
She needs help, and what does he do? He's just like quivering, and then he just runs away. And then I just thought, for that, this guy needs to die.
Yeah,
This guy, he
because
needs to die.
usually in these films they show it where that weaker guy, or that guy that needs to build up his strength, at
Mm,
least there's some sort of factor in him, saving factor, that okay, you want to root for him, okay, he's
yeah,
trying, kind of thing. But this one doesn't even do that, and he leaves her to, and it's like, you
just
think, oh, what a dickhead. And
I
then
know.
I'm now rooting for him to die when
Yeah,
I
I know.
shouldn't feel that way, but I do.
Exactly. I know. And then so the link here is so one of the so this family, so the Deadites, they attach themselves to the family member and they want to, because there's a dagger which can
Mm,
kill the Deadites. And once it's been found and it's been like it's been opened up, they can sense it, so they want the dagger, and that's why they're kind of like attacking this family and everything, and that's why they want to kind of kill them off. But I mean, Devout, I'm not joking. Evil Dead Rise, I thought was funny. It was gory. It had like some really good kills in there, really kind of sinister and kind of like a bit scary. This movie, Devaldo, ah man, I just thought I didn't have the same. I was like, they could have done much better with this, Deval.
So
I just on it,
did you
yeah.
not feel it that much, or?
I wasn't feeling it that much, and maybe it was because of I was pissed off with that son.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was like, the mum was just annoying as well, and I just felt she needed just to be kind of be dealt with, and then the grandma was
Mm,
funny. The grandma was funny because she was
mm,
coming up with stuff. I don't know, man. I just wasn't. I didn't feel any of the kind of the fear factor. If I'm being honest, don't get me
okay.
wrong. The deaths are gory,
Mm,
bloody. They're nasty. There's a bit in the car scene is what I'm talking about, and the way that one of the characters just gets dealt with, I'm
yeah.
just like, this is nasty. And there's moments where, yeah, they're great, but I just felt like as if it didn't build upon for me
Mm.
from what we got from Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, okay. See, I disagree a little bit in
Mm,
that maybe because I don't know, my expectations. I don't think I had none actually, but
yeah,
Evil Dead Rise to me, yeah, it was good. I think
yeah.
the setting, the fact that it was set in a sort of, was it LA or New
Housing
York
building,
apartment, was very different.
apartments.
Normally, it's
Yeah,
always a cabin
claustrophobic.
somewhere. And but one thing I've noticed about all the Evil Deads, whatever place you're in, why does it always look so rotten? The
Yeah,
house, the cabin, everything looks so
dank.
rotten. Straight away, you look and you think, nah, this ain't right. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to be here. So yeah, but yeah, I did enjoy this. I
Did
enjoyed it
you?
from yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the director Sebastian Vanecek, Sam Raimi actually handpicked him
Oh
because he
wow.
done a film called Infested in 2023, which was about these teenagers that go into this decrepit house and spiders were there,
Oh damn.
and spiders are like killer spiders and stuff, and on a small budget, done really well. So I think this
Mm.
person here does have a good. Well, this is only his second feature, by the way,
Wow.
his second feature film, but
That's
he's got a
wicked.
good future in horror, I think. So I think
Yeah.
he's done well. But I think yeah, I do think it was a bit over the top with the gore and stuff, but I guess in this day and age, you got to try and do something to get people, hooked in.
Mm.
And I do think uh, I didn't see much of a link with. Well, no, I did actually. I didn't get the link straight away, but watching it 1.5 times, which I did, I
Yeah.
got to see the link between because I think it was the circle of what were they called? The
Oh,
circle of
the wise
wise
men.
men. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a link that linked that family or the granddad of that family to the original Evil Dead.
To Evil Dead
And I
book.
think
Yeah.
yeah, so I think, but yeah, I think the dynamic. Do you know what? First of all, I'll say this film. I don't think it was rubbish at all. I think
Mm.
it was above average for me. I think it was above average. It gave me Evil Dead as in some of the ingredients of Evil Dead. There wasn't
Yeah.
as much funny bits, but do you know what? I prefer
When
when
it's
the
not as
funny bits are
funny.
not forced. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if the funny bits are good, and there was a bit that grandma, but when it's not in this situation, there's no time to be funny
I know.
unless it's really appropriate, which I think they just got the balance just about right. But I know some people that have said this didn't have the same vibe as a Sam Raimi kind of
Yeah.
wacky kind of, which I actually don't mind. I
Yeah,
don't mind it.
because when you watch those original Evil Dead movies, they are kind of wacky.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of annoyed me was there's a bit in the movie where they lock one of the Deadites in the room,
Mm.
and the, why can't it just rip the door apart? But a few
Yeah, I
moments
know.
later,
Yeah.
it's
But
just like the way it rips the limbs off people and like
yeah. But if you notice, that's what I'm saying. That's an Evil Dead thing. Because
that's an
in
Evil Dead
every
trope.
Evil Dead,
Mm.
they've always been able to lock him in the room and that's it. Whereas you're right, they should be able to break the door down. But for some reason, in Evil Dead, that's an unwritten rule. Lock him
Rule,
in the room, they're good for a while. Now we've got to talk, let the story happen. So
yeah.
yeah, but for me, one of my favorite scene in the whole film was the
Mm.
dinner table. The
Oh God.
tension.
Oh
There's a scene where they're having dinner just after the funeral,
yeah.
and the tension, the
And the
way they
dad's
build
possessed.
it. Yeah, the dad is slowly possessed and it slowly reveals itself, and the tension, each character adds something, each.
Mm.
And for me, that was my favorite scene in the whole film. It just,
because the way
yeah, it was
the way
so
that
good.
scene ends is
Yeah,
like, oh my
yeah,
days,
yeah, yeah.
that's mad.
No prisoners, no prisoners.
Exactly.
Like,
And what I did like about that scene was the dad, he's getting possessed and he wants something sharp. And then
yeah,
they keep
away
taking
from
like
him.
the away from him because they're like,
Yeah,
oh well, no, take
yeah,
that away from you actually. No,
yeah,
let's put that on this side. And then he gets something and what he does with it, oh my
yeah,
days. And then that leads on to that car scene and everything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, no,
That was
definitely. Like
good scene.
look, the kills are second to none. There's a lot of
Mm,
blood, there's a lot of gore. Now, one thing that I do want to mention now, there is an end credit scene.
too.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Deval. I actually didn't see the end credit scene.
Well, you saw the first one, not the second one.
I didn't see either of them. I
Oh,
know. And then it was only what happened was, so then I was like, okay, fine. Like,
oh.
because I just wasn't like, expecting anything like that. And then I was pretty mare about the movie anyway. So I kind of went back home. And then it was only when I went back home and then I started reading and they were like, oh, there's end credit scenes. And I was like, oh, Jesus, why didn't I stay for the end credit scenes? And
Mm.
then I was like, holy shit. So if you are going to watch this movie, stay until the end, right, Deval, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and say without spoiling it too much,
Yeah,
but
do it.
there's two. Yeah, stay to the end, and there is going to be a sequel. It's
Yes.
a sequel to this film, I believe, but there is also going to be a prequel called Evil Dead Wrath,
Mm,
which is going to be a prequel to Evil Dead, so which I think is going to be set in the 1970s, from what I
yeah.
understand. But the end credit scenes, especially one of them, basically leads to a sequel in this, and the other one links it directly to Evil Dead Rise
Right. Yeah.
directly.
I've read it.
And in that scene there, like I say, this film takes no prisoners.
Mm.
Yeah, like Biggie said, the kids, the dog, everybody's dying. No lying. Yeah. So what I've just said there, the kids, the dogs,
Dogs.
everybody's dying. So in one
Yeah.
of the, yeah, I don't want to say it because I was shocked.
Mm,
As I left, the
mm,
cleaner said to me, the cleaners were there waiting for everyone to get out, and I was the only one in there actually, just
yeah.
me one. I came out and the guy said, "Oh my gosh, what do you think of that?" And I was like, "The way, yeah, it's and I
No
see,
prisoners.
no, saying I can't spoil it.
No,
Say no more. I don't want to say."
spoil it. Spoil it.
Okay, so
So spoil it.
the last credit scene is basically the mum from Evil Dead Rise.
Right.
Her name is
Yes.
Ellie something, because there's a
Yep.
scene where they're in the funeral parlor, the
Mm,
crematorium,
yeah.
and the owner, because
Mm,
the young person died from the
yeah.
we saw earlier, the young person that works in the funeral place died,
Yeah.
so they're looking to recruit someone else. So
Mm,
the owner is there with her, I think, granddaughter or daughter who's about 8, and she's there talking, and she's saying, "Oh, why is all these urns still here? Why has no one come to take the urns?" And
mm,
the owner says, "Oh, some people just don't come and take it; they leave it here."
mm.
And she's like, "Oh, that's so sad." And as she's looking, there's all the names of the urns. One of the names is the
Is
mum, the redhead mum from
mum.
Evil Dead Rise.
Rise.
So then someone knocks the door. The owner goes away and says, "Don't touch anything." Obviously, she touches
She
something,
touches something.
and then as she's standing there, she hears someone say something. She looks around and she sees in the mirror it's the mum from Evil Dead
Dead
Rise,
rise.
and she's
Oh,
standing there looking quite normal.
yeah.
And then she blinks, looks away. She's disappeared from the mirror, and now she's standing in front of her in the Evil Dead sort of way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Like,
the mum puts her hand on the child's neck
and
and
you
goes,
know.
breaks her neck. The
Oh,
child, you see it.
damn.
That's what I'm saying. No one, like, you don't,
Yeah. You don't kill
kids.
kids.
And you see it. You don't. The camera doesn't go away. The kid goes and that's it. And that's what you think. Oh my! Like there's no
Yeah.
yeah. So
There's
it's hard. And that's
so
the
we
last thing
know.
you see in the film.
Yeah. So because the whole thing with the Evil Dead lore is that they need to have a body to kind of
Possess. Yeah.
possess.
Yeah.
So with this, so what that then means is that mum Ellie, the
Mm.
one with the red hair, so she's out there
But I don't understand because one, she got put in a wood chipper. Remember?
chipper. But so
So
how
she
where's
got pulverized and
so
she's been
how's the
cremated.
body?
That's one thing I don't understand. She was cremated as well. So she was wood chipped, and then the sludge would have been. I don't know how they cremated the sludge, but I
Yeah,
don't understand that. I don't understand that. So something, yeah, I don't understand that. So, but it's there. It's happened.
they've got to do some sort of like some sort of kind of link up, like kind of
Mm,
explain it in the third one or
yeah,
something, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because in this one, the
Um,
Evil Dead people were very, very, very robust. The dad
mm.
shot himself in his head
Oh
three
my god!
times, and
Yes, not
he was
once.
still okay. Yeah, very
Exactly.
robust.
And they can possess anything and everyone, like the dogs,
Yeah,
like game over for
yeah.
dogs, man. Um, yeah, so there's that. And then remember, so the daughter-in-law, the daughter, the wife of kind of like the French, the character, so
Mm.
she survives, she kind of moves on, and then so where would that evil have gone to? What the thing that she deals with at the end of the movie?
Well, I think she stabbed it. So I think that was her ex husband, by the way. I don't
That
know
was
where
her
he came
ex-husband.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So where was he
but
lurking?
I do not know. But I think maybe the lake also holds something as well because the lake they seem to come out of the lake all the time. So I'm not sure, but I think yeah, it's and also at the end the grandma got away.
Yes, that was it. So there's two. So now, so we
Yeah,
know
the
that there's
post
two
credit. So
deadites.
one of them, the grandma got away with her basically logs. Her legs were chopped off. She's in the road like this. A car comes up to her, and there's this lady in the car like, oh my gosh!" And the grandma's like, "Oh, help!" And then the grandma grabs her, and I think that's how she's going to now infect this other person, get in a
Yeah.
car and drive off and carry on evil deading.
Evil Deading people. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. All right, listen, look, folks, go. We've spoken about it a lot. Go check out the movie. Yeah, and let us know what you think. If you do watch the movie, please
Yeah.
like, subscribe, comment on this video when you see it, wherever you are, and let us know. Now, okay, Deval, you're going to speak about Citizen Vigilante, which
Yes.
is
Yes.
a new release. And this is a movie that we only spoke about on last week's show. This is a
Mm.
trailer that we had a look at, and it's got Death Wish vibes going on it, and there's a lot of kind of
Mm.
retribution going on in this movie. But break it down for us, Devaldo. Tell us who's in this movie and
Yeah.
what's it about, and give us your take.
Yeah, so this movie's got Armie Hammer, who's making his sort of comeback since all the controversy that happened with him a few years ago. This is his first film back since then. This was released it was released in 2026, but it was actually made, I think, 2024, 2025, I think it was, or 2025. So it's directed by a person called Uwe Boll, who's a German director, I believe he is. He's made lots of films, sort of low budget, sort of action films, and this film and that film, and all kinds of stuff. Been directing for many years, and also some horror films as well. This film, Citizen Vigilante, is based on Armie Hammer's character, who is he seems to be like a vigilante kind of person, very sort of like dark and mysterious, uh, like a Batman
Oh, okay.
almost. Bit like a Batman.
Is he ex-army or something?
He's ex-military. He's also quite wealthy. He owns a lot of property, so
Mm.
he's funding his he's got guns and everything, and he's got money basically. So he's all right. He's all right. But he's basically in Europe. He's American. Armie Hammer's character. He's American, but he's in Europe. It doesn't say exactly where it is. It just says Europe.
Mm.
But he's in Europe, and he's basically seen how society is, and he basically doesn't like the fact that migrants are coming into Europe and are getting, benefits, and migrants are also committing crimes, not just thefts and so on, but sexual crimes and stuff like that. And it seems that he and society feel that migrants are the cause of lots of crimes, and basically they're being let off. So in this story, you see lots of news reports about migrants doing this and how people feel about them. Oh, they're coming to this country, they're taking this, they're doing this, and they're just being let off too easily. There were crimes that have happened in this film against the European population committed by migrants, and there was a specific case that happened where uh, these migrants came and basically committed SA. I don't want to say because this
Mm.
video will get striked or something, but SA and the R word
Right.
on these women, and basically the court basically uh, didn't do anything. So the court
Mm.
case happened. They got let off, no prison time, and there's outrage. Obviously, the victims are there. One of them's in hospital still. A couple others are out of hospital, but they've got all the physical signs, and so it's not a question that did it happen or not. It happened.
It happened.
It did happen. So it's not a question. And apart from that, other things have happened. Other crimes are happening. So he's basically, if people have had crimes done against them, he actually asked them, "How do you feel about the justice you got? Do you feel there was justice?" And if they say yes, then he doesn't do anything. If they say no, there was no justice, he's
Oh,
like, okay, thank you, and he just walks away. And he goes and hunts down the people that did it, just
retribution.
guns him down. Yeah, but then he makes these videos where he's anonymized himself. He's blanked
Right.
out his face. His voice is like a robot kind of thing,
Okay.
and so he puts these videos out saying that he did it, and I did it because of these reasons. If the police, if the
The justice
government,
system.
yeah, if they can't do it, I'm going to do it for the people, and the people love him.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
feedback from the people is, oh, I want to marry him. Oh, I want him to have my kids. Oh, he's a model. We want someone like him in America. We want someone like him in Canada. Everyone's saying it because in all those countries, they're all saying the same thing. Migrants are coming over and doing this. So the focus does seem to be on the migrants doing
The
it, not
migrants.
the indigenous population to those
Yeah.
countries, but the migrants. That's the difference here. And I guess you have to look at it quite fairly in that crimes happen with or crimes are committed by all kinds of people. That is
Yeah.
true, whether indigenous or migrated in. And yes, we have seen cases from the film where people
Mm.
migrants have come in and committed essays and R words and all kinds of other crimes as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It does
But
happen.
the question is that the norm? If 100 migrants come in, what proportion of those migrants commit a crime? Some people will say 1% is too many.
Yeah.
Some people might say that, but then the message in this film kind of makes it seem like it's the majority.
The fault is all. It's just all them.
Yeah, so that's the balance. But and then also in this film, there's a really weird. By the way, the film quality isn't the best, but I'm not going to knock it because it's low budget, whatever. So I'm not going to knock.
Yeah.
But the film quality, there's a lot of walking around where he's just walking around, and the camera's like, the camera's taking way too long watching him walk around. It's like people driving in the car, like there's a lot of scenes like that. And I'm thinking that could have been cut like 5 seconds ago, you know. And just
Jeez.
yeah, but I'm not gonna knock it. It's hard to make a
Yeah.
film, but there's a scene where Armie Hammer's character goes into a brothel, basically goes into a
Mm.
brothel, and he pays for engagement. I'll call it.
Yes. For
He first look
services.
for services. He walks around. He picks the one that he wants. Funnily enough, the person he picks probably was a migrant at some point.
Yep. Yeah.
They're not indigenous European, if I could say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And he, engages with the services.
Yes. Of
If I can
this.
put it, yeah, with this
Yeah.
person. They agree a price. He engages in the services. It's such a long scene that doesn't have to happen. Basically, they're
And
both
what do you think
stalkers.
the director wants to say
I
by
don't
that?
know, but you know how European. Like I
Yeah.
remember that show from back in the day. What was it called again? The French show. It was
Oh,
like
Rapido.
was it that one? There was another one where they had like all these like they talked about like nighttime activity. I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah.
in Europe things are kind of different, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they're engaging in activities. They're both stalkers. You can see all her bits.
Yeah.
You can't see his, but they're doing their thing. And then as they're doing it, he looks at the ceiling. This is no joke. He's doing it. Yeah, look at the ceiling, and he's like, he stops and he's like, "There's mold. There's mold in the ceiling." And he's like, "What's this mold doing here?" And he's like, "After you finish with your clients and they have a shower, do you open the window?" And she's like, "No, I keep it closed." He's like, "Well, you should open the window so the water so the steam can get out.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're gonna get
Jesus.
mold." She's like, "Oh, why do you care?" He's like, "Oh, I own the building." She's like, "Oh, you own the building?" He's like, "Yes, I own the building. So make sure you speak with your management and tell them they need to sort out this mold." Yeah, they're both standing there, stalkers, by the way, having this
Oh my
conversation. Remember, he
gosh.
stops. They're both standing there, stalkers. He says, "Oh, stop the mold." And then after that, he's like, "Okay, so,
Get
well,
a
we
plumber.
started now. Let's finish." So
That is
let's
so
get back
weird.
to it. So then they get down, get back to it, do their thing,
Yeah.
and then afterwards, he pays her, and she's like, "Oh, do I get a bit extra?" He's like, "Yeah, you get a bit extra," and he gives her a bit extra, and that's it. It's like that whole scene.
What?
Apart from it proving that he owns a building and that he's very meticulous,
Yeah.
he is very meticulous. That's the only thing I learned in the scene, that he owns a
So,
building and he's meticulous.
so what are they trying to say,
But
that
it
he's what?
lasted.
He's got like,
But then I don't understand. He's got
he's
this
on the
whole
spectrum.
thing. I don't know, but he's got this whole thing about being a vigilante and this and this and that, and the people that committed the R word and SA to those people. But also within the industry that he's now paying into, I also wonder, there is also exploitation there, and there's also
Yeah.
trafficking in that industry. So for him to pay into that,
He's
what if there's another vigilante looking at him thinking, "Oh, you're paying for people that were brought to this country to do this"?
Good
I mean,
point.
I just thought, I just didn't expect it. I was like, "What's going on here?" It's a bit weird him doing this.
That is so
But
interesting.
and Armie Hammer as a guy doesn't need. I mean, we say that people do it for different reasons, but he can get lots of girls in this. People love him, like, you know what I mean. So I don't understand what he's
Don't you
doing.
think that's cutting it like close to reality though? Because the controversy was that he would use services and get people to
Well, yeah, I don't know.
S&M and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really, really intriguing.
I don't
so,
know, but yes,
so he goes off on one. He does his
Yeah.
vigilante thing. He starts killing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
He starts racking up views on social
Yeah.
media. And
Yeah.
then, is there any kind of comeuppance at the end for him, or is it
no.
just?
The end scene is the most powerful scene in the film. The end scene is powerful because there are he's been tracking down these R victims and SA
Yeah.
victims, and he basically now wants to track down the people that did it. So it's these young boys that did it. These young boys, I think about 6 of them. It was a gang situation. So 1 female and like 6 boys
And
or
he
men.
takes out the boys.
Well, he gets to one of the boys. He's home with his family. So the boy, so mum, dad, brother, sister, 4. So they're in the family. He gets into the house. He's got his gun, holds them at gunpoint, sits them down, and says, I got to have a chat. I know what you did. Why did you do it?" Guy's like, "Oh, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I was young. Blah blah blah. I thought she wanted it." He's like, "Hold on, but you covered her mouth. You held her down. 6 of you. What, you thought she wanted it?" He said, "This is what you guys are bringing to this country. This is what you're importing to this country. Your ways and stuff like this."
And this is some of the language that
The
we
narrative,
hear about
yeah.
in,
So
in
it's
the
like
UK.
there's no backing down. And then the dad is like, the dad says something that I can't remember what he says, but it's almost like the dad isn't basically on. He doesn't. Yeah, I think he's not condemning it fully. I can't remember what he says. And then the mum's not condemning it fully. And then the sister also, she put out a post saying, "Oh, girls in Europe, they wear short skirts. It's like they got it coming, basically." Yeah. So basically, the whole family, because they didn't condemn it, they're part of the problem. So, but before, just as they're having that conversation, he says, "Okay, call your other friends, tell them all to come here." He says, "No, I wasn't going to do it." So he shoots him in the leg. He says, "Call them, make them come." So he gets on the phone, calls all his friends to come to the house. Says it's an emergency. Right after he does that, I think it is. Guess what he does next?
Why, he shoots them all.
Yeah, he shoots them all. They're sitting down in a chair.
Is not messing
It's like
around.
ducks in a barrel. So he shoots the dad, shoots the son, shoots the mum, shoots the daughter. Like they all just get
laughing. Like,
I know.
Like...
It was like, I was not expecting that. He shoots them all, and then as all the friends come in the house, he shoots them all as well.
He's lining them up.
Yeah, it's mad. It's like, it's so shocking. It's a really powerful scene. I think the most powerful part about it is obviously the conversations they're having, how he's really focused on the fact that they did it and they're not condemning it.
They're not repenting.
Yeah, so obviously, but it's like he's a vigilante. He's not here to take people to court. The court let him go. So the guy's not going to get any sentence. And the girls are still obviously suffering. So he's the judge, jury, executioner, and he takes them all out. So powerful film. I'll quickly read out some statements. We had a few comments from our YouTube about this. Some people really love this and love the whole.
With them.
One person said, "We've been waiting for the right moment to act." Yeah, we've been waiting for the right moment to act. May their Allah show them mercy because we won't. better count your effing days. So some people think this is the beginning
Of
of a revenge, of a sort of
right, like
reaction.
yep.
Someone says here, it can't get any worse. Wake up. Someone else says, loved it. And it's about a true story. So stop with the victim mentality. You know, so they're saying on our last video, we were victim mentality. This film doesn't imply all, someone else says.
Yeah.
I think the problem is everything other than the vigilante is a daily occurrence, and they're upset they're being exposed for what they are. So this is migrants that they're saying they're being exposed. They think migrants all do this.
Yeah.
But like I say, we can't ignore that some do it.
Do
We're not
it.
saying
Yeah,
that
yeah.
some
And
don't.
this is a reaction. This film is a reaction to
Yeah,
kind of
some
what's
do it.
going
It's
on in the
true.
UK.
There are
Yeah,
wrong-uns in every society, no matter what religion they
absolutely.
are, what race they are. There are wrong-uns. But
Yep.
do we taint or do we paint everyone from certain communities with the same brush? If we do it for
Interesting.
them, we've got to do it for us too.
Yeah.
Because there's people that are indigenous to certain countries that have been doing it. Are we going to say all people from? You know what I mean? So we've got to be, consistent. Someone else is here. 2026 version of Death Wish.
Yes.
Someone else is here. There's no stereotype. Facts are facts. So there's a lot of, so many.
Isn't it interesting, Devout? In the movie, obviously the vigilante has a lot of kind of support and people love it. But in real life, in reality, I think this is what people want. If there really was a real life, like on planet Earth, in reality, a vigilante like this, people would be cheering.
You know, Elon Musk publicly praised this film, and he said he will personally fund a sequel.
Damn.
That's why this film got a lot of hype. So he'll personally pay for a sequel. Personally, so for him, he's got mad money.
Seriously, you know what? I would love. This is no joke, right? I would love to have Armie Hammer on this podcast so that we can ask him.
But for him, it's his first role. So for him, I doubt whatever anyone gives him, he's going to do. He hasn't acted for years. So, but I wonder, how he would feel about the feedback and stuff.
Apparently he comes from money, Armie Hammer.
Yeah, he does. The toothpaste people, isn't it?
Yeah. He
Arm and Hammer.
Arm and Hammer. Yes. Yeah. He comes from money, and then with the whole kind of thing that happened with him and the controversy, and obviously, we can only speculate, what exactly really happened. But yeah, I mean, where do you could they make it, like, by the end of this? Could you see a sequel happening?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because
he goes to a different country.
Yeah, probably another country, somewhere else in Europe. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't. There's also like the Interpol are after him. He wastes them as well. He's got this room where he's got this gun set up. They shoot the door, nothing happens, and he wastes about 20 of these Interpol officers. And when I say he wastes them, it's like Rambo. Some of the bullets explode people's heads. It just looks mad. So he doesn't care. If you come after him, it's a wrap.
Oh my days!
It's a wrap. So some of what he stands by, I can understand why he like there's these kids that come on the bus, don't pay, and they're just silly kids, and he just deals with them. Doesn't kill them, but he deals with them.
I was going to say, does
eventually
he shoot them?
Eventually he deals with them. But so I get certain things that he stands by. I get it. Because society, people just don't give a shit these days.
No, they don't. And there's no repercussions for the shit that happens. Look, man. Look,
and court cases is true. Some court cases, people don't get what they deserve. Away. Like with this situation, for what they did, they deserve time in prison. They deserve for them to get let go. They deserve to go to prison for a long time, if not life. Do you know what I mean? But
I actually believe there are people out there who would love to kind of hand out their own like type of justice, like literally.
Oh yes, yeah. I think off the back of this film, some people might do it.
I know
some people might do it.
We will get
some
a real
people
life vigilante.
might do it. Yes, yeah. There was a case that happened in the UK where they weren't migrants, but they did an R word and an essay on someone, and they were given leniency in court because they were young.
Yeah,
caused massive uproar here in the UK, and the courts reviewed it and then brought them back and gave them prison sentences.
Well, there you go.
So stuff like that, the R word and SA, people need to go down. You can't be let off for that.
All right, so
Yeah. So yeah,
So
this
as a
this
movie,
is.
then is it? I mean, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's
Quality wise of the film is low quality, but again, forget that. It's the message, it's the sort of it's what it's trying to, I guess, achieve in today's society, how people feel, whether you
Mm,
believe in it, whether you agree with it or not. People are allowed to express themselves.
yep.
This is through art, through movies, so it's an interesting take on it. It's a very, it's very extreme,
Yeah.
but this is movies. But hopefully it doesn't happen in real life. But it's an interesting film to watch. I watched it, didn't fall asleep, watched it late at night. What
Mm,
is what it is. So yeah, it's worth a watch. I think just to see what's going out, just to see what's out there. Just so you know, if there's any
yeah.
sort of comeback from this, you at least know what the source material is, and you can actually
Exactly.
comment properly. So
Comment probably. And
yeah,
listen, we love it, folks. Keep writing those comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know, should there be a sequel, and maybe hopefully,
mm.
if Army Hammers people want to get in touch with us, and we can arrange that. We would love to do that.
Yeah,
Right, listen, look, that is the end of the show. We really,
yeah,
really, really hope you enjoyed it. Listen, we've got a big movie coming up next week. We've got The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan. We're going to be reviewing that. After that, we've got Spider-Man, Brand New Day. So a
mm.
couple of big movies before July is up.
Yeah.
And there's all the other stuff that's coming out on streaming, and everything else that we've got to watch. So we really hope you enjoyed the show,
Hmm.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Till next time, peace out.